Commentary by the Township Committee.
I don't know why this kind of snuck up on me, but I'm glad that people are starting to watch the new Facebook initiative. And on that, I mentioned just a couple of things that we are going for this year. I'll only mention the one actually. One is LED streetlights, and we're working with JCP&L on that to see if we can't replace some of the old technology and save some money in the process. So you may, I've got my fingers crossed that we are on the top of JCP&L's list, I'm told, and that we'll see that in 2017. Again, congratulations to the parents of that beautiful new baby and to all involved with the safe delivery. And I see Linda and Monty sitting there. You drove, did I hear you did I overhear you say you drove them to the hospital? Mm-hmm. Congratulations. I know how your heart is truly in this and has been for many, many years. You're really a special person. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Nunn.
I again want to thank the Minutemen, and we still do have a representative here. It's not an easy thing to do, and I think Mayor Sisler kind of alluded to this, to change the way you do something after 75 years of doing it. Mr. Quinn was a Minuteman at one point.
Yes, sir.
I've had around the base. I've had family members who are Minutemen, and so earlier this year I started to see that on certain days and certain times of the day, some of the response times weren't typical of what the Minutemen are known for, which is to be just as good as any paid service and respond just as quickly. And I got to tell you, to their credit, the membership agreed to take a hybrid approach to fill those minimal gaps here and there. And a decision like that, you heard Mr. Schultz talk about territory, and they don't want Atlantic Health to take over the territory. Sometimes thought process like that prevent change and prevent things like the Minutemen are doing by implementing a small per diem component to the Minutemen. And so I really want to applaud you and Mr. Schultz and all of the members. If you could pass that along from all of us, thank you, because we still do want you to provide the service, and we now have no doubt that it will continue to be the best service. And I also want to commend Mr. Sisler for the Facebook, the live video Facebook postings. Although I may not agree with Ms. Wilson, some of the comments she had for Mr. Caffrey, I'll leave that at that. I do agree that it's important that, the 1,000 or so people who have liked the Morris Township Facebook page see what's going on and know what's going on and get updates. And as the population in the township, you have new residents and younger residents, they all use Facebook. So it is a way to get the message out there. So Mr. Sisler, thank you for, Mayor Sisler, thank you for doing that. I think it's a really worthwhile thing. And Committeewoman Johnson, I think you jumped on that.
I was the first one out of the chute.
On the shoot today. I think it's a worthwhile thing, and I hope that it continues.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mancuso.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just think we're so blessed to have personnel, people who work for us, like newly made Captain Monte Carlo. We are fortunate in so many ways, and as I said when I made my remarks earlier, we've got a very, very deep bench when it comes to promotions down the line, and I'm very, very, very happy that this has worked itself out. Mr. Quinn, could you tell us a little bit about the medication collection and the drop-off box, the specifics to
Sure. Happy to, sir. Through the hard work, and it was actually the hard work of Captain DiCarlo, we had been working for the last several years trying to get a medication box where residents could drop off 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unused medication so that they didn't fall into the wrong hands of other people. And we were stymied a little bit in getting this, and Captain DiCarlo really put it together, and we were able to work through all of the quote-unquote red tape and logistics. And just in the last month or so, last couple of weeks, we have now the medication box in the lobby of police headquarters, and anyone can come in and dispose of unused medications. We put out the information to our municipal messenger, to our health department, and It's all up on our website now, and we're also putting it out to our various neighborhood groups, our seniors, so that information is out there so people know of a good place to come and dispose of those medications. So as I said, they are properly disposed of. They're not being flushed down into the water system, so they pollute the water system, and the proper disposal of them. And most importantly, they're not getting into the wrong hands of people that should not have them.
Thank you very much, sir. I think that's more than commendable. Again, to Mayor Sisler, the idea of having this Facebook page, I think, is really very, very worthwhile, and I'm just delighted with it. Something else we're working on under the mayorship of Mr. Sisler is we're working very, very hard to come up with an app that will prohibit people from texting while driving. And we've gone through almost a month of looking into it very carefully. We have found 3, but none of them are perfect yet. So what I'm doing is I'm going to find somebody who's about 25 and show them, ask them what their thought process is. So we're working on that. And then I guess one of the nicest things of the week is Mr. Lent from the Newsfeed commended me on having a 7-year-old child. I thought that was it was my grandson, of course. Thank you, Mr. Lent.
You can look to your left about that 25-year-old guy. A little older.
I'll take 20.
Let's take 25. That's it.
Thank you.
Mr. Caffrey.
Thank you. First of all, Happy New Year, everyone. I apologize about not being at the reorg meeting. It was a business commitment in New York City. I wasn't able to get back in time. So again, Happy New Year to everybody. So I hadn't had the opportunity at the meeting to first of all congratulate Peter Mancuso on his re-election and taking office for the 3rd time times 2. So congratulations, and love having you up here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And also congratulations to Mayor and Deputy Mayor Bruce Sisler, Louise Johnson. Truly well deserved, and I look forward to working with you folks. And again, thank you all for this little surprise tonight. So I think that was very nice and kind of humbles me. Thank you. Congrats to Captain DiCarlo, known him for some time, and well-deserved on his move up. And looking forward to now that I'm serving on the police committee, or actually the first time since I've been on the committee. Looking forward to working closely with the chief and the 2 captains as we move forward. I also have a note here on the medication box. So that kind of spawned, just so everybody knows, from it was brought up by one of the members of our Board of Health, Dr. Nick Bertha, last year, talking about how opiate addiction is an issue and a problem, and people think of it as only, well, I don't have, I've got this stuff in my medicine cabinet. But I don't have an issue with it, and most don't. But what everybody needs to know, and it's not, I don't want to say it's rampant in Morristown or Morris Township, but there have been issues of farm parties. I don't know if anybody knows what a farm party is. Farm, P-H-A-R-M. Kids go to somebody's house. To gain admission into the house, there's a big bowl, and you have to bring a prescription drug with you and put it in the bowl. And during the party, it's sort of like, they close their eyes and blindfolded and they pick out a prescription. And that is their drug of the evening. And let me tell you, it is not, I don't want to say it's rampant, but I will tell you there have been issues in Morristown and Morris Township with that happening. So for the adults who have teenage kids, for the grandparents who have teenage grandchildren, it's happening. And it may not be happening, but it's important for people to know that it's happening. And Dr. Nick Bertha and Dr. Nicole Sapphire on our Board of Health board, talked much more about it. And thanks to Mr. Quinn and our police chief, we now have a methodology in town for residents to dispose of those drugs safely. As you know, you're not supposed to flush them down the toilet. Throwing them in the garbage really isn't help. So now there's a way to dispose of them safely and to have residents ensure that they're kept out of the hands of kids. That disposal unit is more for that than the individuals who are prescribed the medication having to hurt them. That's more of a rarity than the other piece. So I want to commend our police chief and Mr. Quinn for making that happen. And now Morris Township residents have a methodology to dispose of that. Again, the Minutemen, I was met with Dave a number of times over a beer or two, and as he said, I firmly believed that the answer was not anything other than looking right at the Minutemen. They've been doing it for 75 years. There's no reason in the world why they couldn't look inside their processes and make some changes and do it for another 75 years and make sure that they responded to basically every call that came out, and making sure that our response times were within standards. And I have no doubt that the process that they put in place and the time and the energy that they put in will get them there. So again, thank you. We do have a great community. I do love being here. It's a wonderful community, sometimes contrary to what you may hear. But thank you all, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Capp. Yeah, I'd just like to talk a little bit about the Facebook Live initiative that we've come up with. We're calling it 1740 Live. If you know, our township has been was incorporated in 1740, so we wanted to sort of use that as a little hashtag catchphrase. Basically, what Facebook Live is just a camera and a method to go out through the internet, through Facebook, to talk about different things. I learned from a friend of mine who's a mayor up in Connecticut. She does Facebook Live, and so I kind of jumped on a little bit, and tonight we launched it to talk about our agenda, to basically put our agenda out there. People can ask questions through that Facebook Live page. They can comment, they can do all sorts of things. So I just wanted to keep that, as we all know, we're trying to stay ahead of the game in technologically. And I think that, you know, with more and more people being on the computer, it's a great way for people to stay up to speed on what's going on here in Morris Township. And it's cost effective. It only costs me my time. Doesn't cost any money to hire anybody to film it or to do anything more than just me setting up a laptop here at Town Hall. So it's cost effective, and I think that that's something that has always been what we've been looking for in terms of getting our message out to the community through the media. The Morris Minutemen, as I said, have a soft place in my heart because of my family, but I did want to say President Schultz was kind of very humble, but didn't tell the whole story. He said he thinks that they're one of the best in Morris County and one of the best in the state. But actually in 2010, 2011, we, the Morris Minutemen, were recognized as the #1 volunteer EMS service by an international organization. And the captain at the time was named as the #1 volunteer in the world for EMS services. So that's pretty cool, Mark Wentel. So yeah, okay, they're the best in New Jersey. Nah, they're the best in the world. And they're all ours.
Great.
I did want to read this resolution out loud. I don't know, is there anybody from the county here today? Okay, I wanted to read this resolution 23-17. It's a resolution declaring the Township of Morris as a stigma-free community. The Township of Morris recognizes that 1 in 4 Americans has experienced mental illness, including substance abuse, in a given year, according to the National Institute of Mental Health. Mental health problems are more common than cancer and heart disease combined. They affect children and adults, including more than half of our Iraq and Afghanistan veterans treated at our Veterans Administration hospitals. Given the serious nature of this public health problem, we must continue to reach the millions who need help. The stigma associated with mental health and substance use disorders is identified as the primary reason individuals fail to seek the help they need to recover from these disorders. Stigma-free communities aim to inspire public interest and opens dialogue about stigma, raises awareness of mental health and substance use disorders, and creates a culture wherein residents with mental health and substance use disorders feel supported by their community and neighbors, free to seek treatment without fear of stigma. Promoting awareness that there can be no health without mental health will break down barriers and encourage residents of all ages to be mindful of their mental health and ask for help when needed. Local resources are available to treat mental health and substance use disorders, so no one needs to suffer alone or feel hopeless. Establishing stigma-free communities will raise awareness of resources and encourage residents to engage in care as soon as the need is identified, so recovery can begin, hope is inspired, and tragedies are avoided. So it's hereby resolved by the Township of Morris, which we declare Morris Township a stigma-free community this evening. So thank you to my committee members for passing that resolution. Consideration of monthly reports.